Howdy all, welcome. Today I'm going to show the process of me filling up a big old sketchbook page. It's the end of the year and I'm trying my best to fill this before 2024. So I started by opening up my sketchbook and then my laptop. The original plan for this page was to draw my favorite album covers from my top playlist of the year. So I pulled up my dorky Amazon Music playlist and hit shuffle. And I got Nothing New by Taylor Swift and Phoebe Bridgers, which is an amazing song that I was lucky enough to see live this year. But I've already drawn the album cover, so I pivoted and decided to do lyric-inspired art kinda like this, and chose my favorite lyric from the song, "It's Like I Can Feel Time Moving," because it seemed like the perfect lyric to end the year with. 2023 was probably the biggest year of my life so far, and I've done a lot of grieving the past and yearning for the future this year. I started the year out in my senior year of high school, unsure of my plans for the future, and solidly committed to an oversized friend group. Just after a few months, I was able to get my driver's license and said goodbye to my high school, and swiftly moved into my first semester at art college. While away from home for the first time, I turned 18 and started thinking more about my art. This year especially, I've been feeling a lot of nostalgia, especially when making my art. It reminds me of my childhood, and I like to make art that represents that. I feel like a lot of people my age feel thrust into the future, while we're still grieving the past. I don't know if this is a part of growing up or an effect of COVID-19 or both. I started my drawing hoping to draw a photograph that my friend Brittany took of me this summer. We'd gone stargazing with our other friend Maya, the week before we all went our separate ways before college, and we all took a bunch of photos to commemorate the day. And while my grad photos were supposed to represent this big transition, these ones really symbolize this year for me. The year I spent with good friends, trying to hold on to the past, but feeling time moving all around us. I was lucky to get these moments documented. In the original photo, I'm sitting on a tree swing in the park near my house. The field where I used to go firefly catching and kite flying with my dad, and made countless wishes on dandelion puffs with my mother. The field I used to sled down every winter and celebrated my 16th birthday on in the bright summer. That night felt like an ending to my childhood, friendship, and my home. What's so weird about art and life is even when you go through a big change, the end product is still made up of all the past versions of the art. Every time I draw, or glue, or sew something, I'm reminded of all the times I've done that before. Each time I'm adding a new experience to the pile. In their book Your Brain on Art, Susan Magsamen and Ivy Ross discuss how powerful music is for recollection. Music is able to bring back the memories of dementia patients who can't even remember their own names, and can help with recognition for everyone. For me, music is able to bring back so many memories too. When I listen to Taylor Swift, I'm reminded of every other time I've ever listened to her. In my 4th grade theater camp's performance of Shake It Off, and listening to the Reputation album in my friend Olivia's basement and dancing. Listening to Lover during a 7th grade art class while laughing with my friends, and listening to folklore in order to just get through a day during the COVID-19 lockdowns. For the past 5 years, I've been extra meticulous about keeping track of memories with songs. I keep a playlist for every season, and a special one for specific events and emotions. Listening to my favorite songs from even just a year ago can feel like time traveling. When I think about these interactions between music and memories, I'm reminded of the piece, our Top 100, that I saw at Wonder Spaces in Philadelphia by Jody Servin. The piece asked the viewer to write down a song that reminded them of a memory, describe the memory, and then pin it to a wall. The wall was covered in other songs and memories, and I spent the better part of an hour reading people's songs. and what they reminded them of. Hundreds of love songs, breakup anthems, and Scream in the Car songs were up there from every genre imaginable. And when you read the songs, the same music is played overhead, and each one is so different than the last. It reminded me of how music connects us and how art is meant to be shared. When I think about this year, I'll probably always remember it as my graduation year, or the year I turned 18. But by creating a sketchbook or journal entry, or a song, or a video, I'm able to recognize all the past thoughts and emotions I felt in that year, or in that time period. I've always thought the second that I got my driver's license, or I turned 18, or I move out, everything would become so shockingly different I wouldn't recognize myself. Except, the thing is, I'm still here. I'm in my childhood bedroom, I'm drawing with crayons, I'm filming a corny-ass YouTube video, and I'm listening to Taylor Swift. In the end, this piece didn't really turn out at all like how I had originally anticipated. I decided to include a lot of other things than just the photo that Brittany had taken over the summer. I found my alarm clock and the clocks around my house, and I felt like they were a more literal representation of time, and then started looking around and found some more abstracted ones. I think this kind of just goes to show that you never know what is going to happen when you start art or any new project or phase of your life. And thank you so much for watching. Shout out to the real ones.